everybody, welcome back. Another video. Tim here at Gamiviti. Today we're going to be talking about cases, boxes. Question I get quite a bit, how do I add these cases to my roof rack? So, number of solutions there, from the quick and dirty, just one trip, to the keep it up there all the time, and a couple kind of in between. So, let me show you some solutions here. Should be a good time. Let's get right into it. Hey, me again. Got a little bonus footage at the end. So if you like what you see in the video, I'm gonna do a little bit of a deeper dive into a couple of these mods to these cases here from Harbor Freight. So anyway, enjoy the vid. Maybe I'll see you in about 5 minutes. So this one here is my drone case. I don't use it often. I definitely don't put it on the rack too often. But I brought it out as an example of kind of a occasional use. What I've done here is I got 3 of our G brackets. This one I've bolted to our plate on the back corner of the rack. These 2 I'm using tube clamps, clamp them to these bars. And what that achieves is a pretty nice way to nest this thing in there. Give it kind of a happy little home, if you will. This way it can't move. Of course I'm shaking the camera when I do that, but you get the point here where now all I need to do is put a bungee over it or a strap, and this guy is fairly good to go. And the ribbing here in the case actually can prevent this thing from sliding forward to back. So you can take advantage of your cases that way when you're using those little G brackets. That's one of their main uses there. So to secure this, of course I can run a bungee. Got one of these perfect bungees. These things are really cool. You know, you just bring it over there, find your little hole, and snap it in. That's going to hold it on there. The other option, of course, is to do more of a strap. And show you how I like to do straps. This goes for pretty much everything that I'll put on the rack. Very, very simple. Also really secure. You just want to wrap the strap around your object and the rack itself, and then just hook the strap to itself here. Pull on your loose end, cinch it down, and yeah, don't say it, but that's not going anywhere. This is a lot better than trying to hook a hook to a plate or a light tab or something, because something could shift and you might lose your tightness. But with this, you know, this is wrapped around my object, and this can't do anything but just stay put and make sure this case is still there when I get to where I'm going. So there you go. Moving on to a little bit more semi-permanent solution here. This is one of those little Apache cases from Harbor Freight. You can pick these up for like 60 bucks. I'm using a combination of our plastic clips on the bottom and a cinch strap system that I developed to hold this guy on there. Inside, you can see I got backing plates here. On this side, I'm not using them. Kind of doing a little trial to see if I can tell a difference. The answer is not really. And then the strap here, I'll show you how I'm doing that as a kind of a secondary thing. But the nice thing here is I can open and close this when it's still stuck to the rack. So this is going to be great for going camping when I load gear in here and I don't want to take the case off. When I do take the case off, check this out. I just have to loosen this cinch strap a little bit. I put these pins in here. I pull a pin from each side. Close that up so it doesn't go flying here. And then this guy is coming off. So let me show you how I did that. Here's the bottom of the case. I'm using 4 plastic clips. Again, same clips we're using for the grid panels, use them for the fairings. Got another use for these guys now. The spacing is very simple. 1 inch smaller than the gap between the bars. So on your 80 racks, 60 racks, 100 racks, you have a consistent 9.5 inch spacing between each one of those bars. Your hole spacing for drilling your holes is going to be 8.5. Pretty simple, right? I'll put up the formula on the website in case you forget that. Inside, again, very easy. Took out all the foam. You can see you can run backing plates, you can run nothing. I'd probably recommend at least a washer, but I want to see if these pull out and fatigue over time. I'm willing to test that out for you. So kind of got a little trial here, but really easy to put those snaps on there. Again, all you need is a 1/4 inch drill in your drill. Blast some holes. Use the clip as your drill template. Very, very easy. Up here on the rack side, I've got my strap. You can see I'm looping it through one of the loops in the slot. And that's to prevent the case from being able to slide in and out. So simple loop on this side. On this side I got my loop here and my cinch. In hindsight, I probably should have put that cinch in the middle on the bottom, but it's working there. It's just a little bit more difficult to do. But when I attach this rack, all I do is snap it in, temporary, put the pins through and do the loop a little bit more permanent. So super happy with how this is working so far. So when I'm ready to go, I'll walk up with my case, pull one side in, line up the other side, snap it down. That guy's in there. Just like the plastic grid, you want to press those plastic clips out so that you get as little shimmy as you can on there. So then the next step is I'm going to go ahead and load up those straps. Up front here, I've got the larger 9800 Apache case, made for guns or long things. I don't know. I don't have anything in it, but I'm just showing you how to put it on. Of course, full access while it's strapped on. You can see my 4 bolts, 4 sets of bolts for my snaps. And then of course my straps going around the outside, and picture what that looks like kind of underneath there. A little harder to see because they have some other shadows and things, but I think you get the idea. Another thing that comes up quite often are all your Yakima tooling accessories. Bike racks and ski racks and rod case, things of that matter. They all use some version of this little plastic clip that came with those. Now your Yakima is a 1 1/8 diameter. Your Gamiviti rack is a 1 inch. So we take our sprinkler tubing. This is a 1 inch sprinkler tube. Get this at Home Depot. Cut yourself a little piece of it, and then you run a little slit down it. You can see that slit? There we go. Very, very simple. That snaps around your bar of your rack. Makes the diameter of that bar larger. And then when you snap this on, now you can run that bolt and thumb screw and attach your accessories. So very, very simple there. I know there's a write-up on the site, but there you have it now in video form. So there you go. You pick up some kind of a case, Rome, Pelican, Caribou, Apache, Harbor Freight, whatever. Haven't tried them all, but I think we have enough options here where you're going to find a solution that works. And just think about your criteria. You want it on the truck all the time, forever. Think about one of our tube clamps going around the tube, maybe through bolts through one of the plates, some spacer washers, bolt it on, do it really well there. If you want kind of a hybrid solution, you can pair that with the G brackets to give yourself some little shims, something where it'll nest in, and then you can wrap a strap around it, keep it all nice and buttoned up there. Or if you want a real quick release method, then think about that thing with the plastic clips, and then pair that with a little cinch strap, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. So hope that was helpful to you. Let me know your comments. Let me know what else you want to see. We'll see you on the next one. Bonus install footage. It's on. Thanks for staying with me. Got my brand new Apache 4800 case here. Harbor Freight. The only thing I did on this is I did already take most of this foam out. Set that aside. You don't need that for the end. So brand new case there. I've got my setup of 4 plastic clips. I've got 2 of these snap pins we're going to install. And I got a strap. If I need it, I've got my 7/16 open end wrench, and again, this 5/32 Allen wrench. So really all the tools we need. Oh, of course, I got my drill. What is my drill? There you go. Got my drill, my favorite 1/4 inch drill bit. So that's all we need. I want to do the snap pin mod first. Truth be told, I came up with the other mod before this one, but right now I'm liking this one a little bit better, and I can see the use case for only doing this mod and kind of skipping the clips, but both is also cool. We're going to end up doing them both in this case here before too long. But just to show you how this works, there is a couple ribs that come down on this case. Nice thick plastic here that we're going to drill through, and then this latch comes down, and you can see how this works where this latch needs to kind of clip on there. So basically we're going to put this pin to where it doesn't interfere with this latch at all. And that's all I'm going to do here. And I'm just going to drill a couple holes through each side. So I'm just going to eyeball it here. Looks pretty good right there. Cool. Flip it over. And I'm going to just do my best to line this up so that that pin can go through both holes. Very good. So this is what that looks like with the pin installed. It's a little tight. I can get them both to go, but when I get that second hole engaged, it's kind of snug there. So if you're misaligned, don't worry about it. If you're a little bit tight, what you can do is just take that same drill bit and kind of waller that out a little bit. I think that's a manufacturing term called waller, which means just use that same drill bit, kind of give it one of those. You don't want to get too crazy because, again, you don't want to get into your meat here. You want to preserve as much of this material as you can, because that's what's going to, take the load of your strap. But I think we can be okay opening that up a little bit, see how that fits. Oh yeah, that's butter now. So cool. So I'm going to do that to the other side. Got this side done. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drill this side. You're good to go. Okay, got my little demo rack here. So first thing I'm going to do is take my strap and I'm just going to make a loop with it. Take that loose end, feed it through the clasp here, and pull on that loose end, make a loop. Then I'm going to put that clasp on the bottom and just lay that on my rack. That's going to fall through. It's okay. Take my case, decide where I want to mount it. In this case, yeah, somewhere around here. And then think about where that strap's going to lay relative to those snap pins that we put on there. And in this case, I'm going to line that up with the inside slots of this front rack plate so that I can use one of those slots to help keep the position of that strap so that my case can't go sliding in to the rack a little bit. You can use the slots, same ones you use to bolt up your rack, or you can actually use the perimeter slots around these plates. Those were intended for water drain, but you can also run straps through them. Really handy use of those as well. So whatever you want to do there. The next move is then to feed your strap. Again, I got my clasp at the bottom. I'm going to run it right up through the one slot I want to use there. And in the back, I'm just going to leave, the back I'm just going to leave open because that's going to engage with my case, okay? Next move, very simple. Just going to pull the pin on one of these. And only have to pull off one side. I'm going to feed it through my strap. And do like that. So there's one side. And then I can grab my other end of the strap, making sure I don't add any twists to it. Keep it nice and clean like that. Then I'm going to pull that pin and put it through the strap like so. So it goes through the first rib. So even though this is snug, it can still wiggle. And it's not ideal because there's really nothing holding it. So a couple options there. One is, certainly I could, put the G brackets on there like we talked about, give myself a rigid stop here. Multi-brackets would do that. Or, you see I have the ribbing here again. I could add another set of pins, and I could do the straps going underneath this way. That's gonna certainly hold it on a lot tighter. Strap over the top gets the job done. But then I lose the ability to open it when it's still strapped on, which I think is probably one of the best parts here. Other solution then, of course, is the plastic clips. So let's do that. But before we do, I just want you to see that this is on there. I can lift up this rack by the case. Certainly wouldn't worry about this flying off, but yeah, that's not cool. So we can do better. So let's add those plastic clips. Pretty simple. First thing I'm going to do is going to pull my pins. Let that strap go. Then this is free. Go ahead and just flip it over. And remember, the magic number is your bar spacing minus 1 inch. So standard rack is going to have, everywhere there's a plate for sure, 9.5 inches. Most of your other gaps are going to be 9.5, but you want to just measure first. It's got a plate, you can probably take my word for it, but hey, measure real quick, it's easy to do. Yep, 9.5. So it's actually 7/16, whatever. It's going to be fine. Everything's slotted, things are going to work. On the bottom of your case then, you got to watch out for this ribbing, because it'll be less ideal if this thing is running up on top of a rib. Better if it's in kind of the flat plane here. So be a little bit aware of that. And then as far as wear, I think it's just somewhere symmetric around the case is going to be okay. I don't know that there's a great way to do it. I've just been doing these kind of right in the middle here. It's been working really, really well. So I'm going to just set this down and just kind of mock this up, putting my 4 clips on here. Something like that, something like that, something like that. And again, to illustrate, these guys are going to be pushing out on the bars, kind of grabbing the inside gap there. So if I look here, I've got, 8.5 is going to be a little bit in. So that's going to be great. So I'm just going to do clips just like that. Let's do it right now. So clip number 1, just going to use my clip as my drill template. I figured out where I liked it. And I'm just going to aim for the middle of that slot, right where I've got it. So hole number 1, looks like that. We'll let that thing spin. Grab one of your bolts, stick that down through your hole, and that'll hold it there, so that when you do the second hole, you know they're going to line up. So put that right down in, and away we go. Okay, there's one clip, second clip, set that guy down, throw my drill through, okay, put my bolt through the clip, and okay, I got 2 drilled. Next move then is going to be to open the case. My holes. Then I'm going to take 2 bolts, screws, bolts with washers, poke those through each pair of holes there. Something like that. If you got a little burr on there, you might want to get rid of it, but yeah, it's going to be okay. Reminds me, I haven't stressed about waterproofing. My theory is that, I'll clean this hole up. If it's clean and you're smashing plastic with a nut and a bolt, a nice big backing plate like that plastic clip, I'm not sure where water's gonna go, but if you're somebody who wants to go through a bunch of swamps or rain or snow and you feel like you want to worry about water getting in, you could put a little silicone in here. Again, your choice, but I'm not doing that. I thought I'd point that out. Something to think about. Other thing to mention while we're doing this, just a reminder, it's all over the site, it's on the other videos. Just remember what you're doing to your truck. Those are your choices. You know, I'm going to enable you to do some cool stuff here, but at the end of the day, you got to be accountable for your decisions. So if you do a poor job of this, you don't strap it well, something flies off, you know, that would be unfortunate. So really take your time. If you're not sure about your abilities, certainly get some professional help. You know, well, not that kind of professional help, but well, maybe. In any case, feel free to let me know. I will do everything I can to help you, but again, you just got to understand that, you know, it's going to be on you on whatever you're bolting up to your truck. Doesn't matter, rack, bumpers, anything at all. So, all right, enough said there. One more bolt going through here. Clean up that little burr. Another bolt going through here. All right, flip this guy around, and very simple. I'm just going to position the plastic clip on there. Take a couple of my nuts, which I thought I had in my pocket, but I don't, but I will in a second. And I'm going to put those nuts on those bolts. Okay, just like that. I happen to have some nuts right here. And I'm just going to stick those on, like so. Good. Right there with my thumb. Another nut. Run it down. Nice thing about these flange nuts is they got the teeth. You don't need a washer. They come with a washer and they come with these little teeth that kind of grab the plastic as you tighten it. So it makes it so you can get these things done with just one tool. Very handy. So I'm going to go ahead and install this one next here, just like that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll drill the other side. Okay, so these are bolted in. I went ahead and snugged them down. When I did that, I realized I could bump them up in the slots here, right up against this rib. And it kind of gave me a nice feeling that these are going to be in alignment with each other, which I think is a good thing. So once I saw that, I realized, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and snug these up. And so this is kind of my solid anchor, and then I'll use this side for my final adjustment. So remember, your gap minus an inch. So we were at 9 and I was saying 7/16, just under a half. So I'm going to just drill these at right around 8.5, a little bit less. Again, not super critical here because there's slots in those plastic clips. Of course, we learned how to waller out holes earlier. Let's try not to do that, but it is a kind of a plan B if we need it. So I just have this on here. I put my drill right at a little bit below 8.5, and I'm gonna slam it in there. Cool. Take one of my bolts and another plastic clip. Put that through the case. All right, looks good. And then I'm gonna line that up right in the middle of that slot, both sides. Done and done. Do that for the other side here. So again, just underneath the clip for the first hole. I just take my tape or a ruler or whatever I have, aiming for just under 8.5. Right there, looks pretty good to me. Put my bolt through my clip. Slam it through the hole. Use that clip as a template to drill my final hole. Drilling's done. So my next move then is going to be take these off, turn the case around, grab my bolts and washers, do a little deburr action on a couple of the holes here. Screw there, get out of there, buddy. And then poke those through, just like that. And I'm going to add all the bolts. I'm going to put all the plastic clips on, the nuts on, and then we'll test fit this thing. So, the test bolt. So remember that these clips have a little bit of travel to them, which means they can slide, right? And we talked about this with the grid panels, is getting that engagement, black on black, kind of hard to see. You get the idea, there you go. Getting that engagement of this radius right here to fit the bar of your rack. You don't want it to sit up on this edge here, you want it to really be down in the trough. So as you go ahead and position these, you want to be able to feel under there and literally pull the loose one that way as you're pushing on the case that way. You're trying to make those things grab as tight as you can get them to grab. So I'm going to do that, but that's hard to describe this and do it all. I need 3 or 4 hands. So, but you'll feel it. You lift up a little bit on the case and it'll slide out. It feels pretty good. I grab my wrench and I tighten the nut. Sometimes if the nut spins, you tighten the other one and it'll grab, and then you can go back and tighten the other guy. So that one's snug. And I know I did it right when I can grab the case and I can't shake it front to back. Then I know that I'm engaged. So that one feels good. I'm gonna do the same on this guy here. He's tight. He's tight. There we are. So now we're clipped in. And check that out. I'm gonna pull these pins off the rack. And I should be able to literally lift this rack now by the case. Like, okay, there we go. It's on there, man. It's pretty cool. So there you go. 4 clips buttoned up. All right, so now I have reinserted my pins, put my strap back through, running that strap now through the 4th slot from the front, but it gave me a nice straight down approach angle there, which I was going for. And in the back here, swing it around. Just looks like that. Nothing too much to look at. That pin is there. Of course, we have nothing, this little hoopy thing, nothing's going through that. And then underneath, that strap is nice and tight. And I don't know if I'm gonna use this second thing, or I might just tie this off somewhere on the rack, but this is nice and snug on there. The clips are kind of snug. Let's give it the old shake test, see what we think. So yeah, with my strap on there nice and tight, it really can't twist. You can see I'm wiggle this rack around, but I can't move the case on the rack. These clips are just holding it in place. They won't allow that thing to wiggle at all. It's really cool. But I could have picked this up with just the clips, but now with that strap on there, I can lift up this whole rack, you know, kind of by the case. So I'd run that. Hope that was helpful to you. Hope that was at least a little bit of fun. I certainly enjoyed it. And thanks for sticking this one out. Let me know what you think. Let's try these things. Can't wait to see the pictures. Thanks again, everybody. All right, sorry, I know I said goodbye. I got a couple more things I wanted to mention. First is this is still buttoned up like it was, right? To deploy this, something I didn't really point out very well when I was on the 60 yesterday, but if I want to take this off the rack, all I have to do is remove these pins. I don't even have to loosen those straps. Again, I'll have to loosen them to get some slack next time, but this thing is good to go. So really, really quick, take this from on the truck to off the truck. To put it back on the truck, you do need to give yourself a little bit of slack just so you can feed it through your little pins and then tighten it back up. So it'll take you a minute to get ready to go, but only a couple seconds to deploy. Last thing is these clips. They are ABS plastic. They're pretty darn strong. Nothing's perfect. So if you break one, let me know. I'll send you another one. Yeah, lifetime warranty on these little guys. I don't care. As long as you're cool about it, I'll stay cool about it. If this starts to run me out of business, we may have to readjust that. But hey, for now, you know what? Use these things, abuse them, try them out. Let me know what you think. If you need another one, you know, hit me up. We can take care of you. So thanks again, everybody. I can't wait to see you at the next event, and look forward to your comments. Talk to you again.